think I'm on. Hello. This is slightly unusual. I have never done this before. I know that these live things are quite popular. So where to start? This is a Netvio Live Session, and I've actually put together a mix.
Hello.
Oops, now I can hear I can hear the twitch.
I have never done this before.
Oh dear. Let's start again. Rewind. Okay, so welcome to Netvio Live Sessions. I'm Millicious, and I'm going to be playing you a mix of songs that I've written and loosely produced myself. I wanted to put together music that I haven't really had any help with, because over the years I've always worked with producers and they've looked after that side. So you'll hear that for 20 minutes. And what I was going to do, because I won't be doing what DJs do, doing all that, I was thinking I might do a painting while you listen to that music. So it'd be like a kind of immersive thing. If you also take part, if you have some art materials with you, you could just kind of listen to the music and see how you're inspired. I had this idea because my training is as an art therapist, so I'm very much into just making art in the moment. I'm not going to think about what I'm drawing. I'm not going to have a set idea when I start. So let's just see what happens, and let's see if any of this works. So thank you very much for joining me. I am now going to start playing the music.
tears, they contain a story, and it's not easy being you, but your peculiarities just make you so much beautiful to me. And you run along, and you keep your nose down to the ground, and you try to follow tracks. But I've heard that wolves hunt best in packs, and your tears, they contain a story, and it's not easy being you, but your peculiarities just make you so beautiful to me. And you run along, and you keep your nose down to the ground. Sometimes I just wonder why we are born only to die. Everything that's in between might have easily been. So take me on, I'm only two. I got nothing else to do. If you see me floating by, when I'm not tethered, I float up into the sky. So take me on, I'm nearly free. I don't know how else to be. I can't breathe one to say I never loved you anyway. Sometimes I just wonder why we are born only to die. Everything that's in between might have easily never be. So take me on, I'm only to. I got nothing else to do. If you see me floating by,
Is it time to talk? We could do that while we walk. You don't need to hold my hand. Things have changed, I understand. But I keep crying over you. I'm not trying to undo all the things we made. They will never be erased. Would you like to stay? Shall I make a place? I did want in my heart for everything that fell apart, and I keep crying over you. I'm not trying to undo all the things we had. They were ours, I'm glad. And so stand firm and then shine. It's embarrassing. These emotions. All these emotions.
And what you like in discipline, you make up for. 'Cause you're a rebel with a cause, and you don't want this anymore. And what you like in discipline, you make up for. 'Cause you're a rebel with a cause, and you don't want this anymore. And what you like in discipline, you make up for. 'Cause you're a rebel
Think I'm probably an uncalculated sort of person, and I don't make sense in a mathematical kind of way. I think I'm probably meant to drift along through this life and not make very much sense at all. I'm just following it all. I think I'm probably an experimental sort of person, and I don't make sense in terms of voice and chorus, and I don't make sense in terms of verse and chorus, but I want so much to be in touch with the life that they talk about, and I would love so much to fly like you and fill my moments with honey and dew, and I would like so much to seem so happy that my smile reaches you. But the pattern of my life doesn't take the shape that the sun would shine. She thinks maybe one day she'll change, finally rearrange thoughts inside her head. And though it's easier to just be guilty, maybe now it's time to think something good instead. 'Cause she's got used to taking the blame, but I don't think that it's too late to change. I wouldn't want it now. Just leave me once, don't leave me twice. I wouldn't want to sacrifice the way you see yourself today. Just leave me once, don't leave me twice. I wouldn't want to sacrifice the way you see yourself today. I wouldn't want it any other way. I wouldn't want it any other way. There we are. I hope you can hear me. So really, I didn't know what I was going to do, and this is what I ended up with. One of the lyrics said about crying and tears, so I've written cry there, and one of the songs said only love, and it got me thinking that I actually have been crying a lot lately, but maybe, that's part of life, in fact, and part of getting us back to a place of love. So that's that. I wonder if you've made any art. Maybe you can comment about it later in the question. Sorry, you just saw my head there. This is quite weird because I can't actually tell if anyone can hear this. So I just have to hope. So, yes, my next thing now is to play you some songs on the guitar, just to prove that I can actually string a tune together. So, yes, I knew I was going to have to do this. I'm actually going to have to tune my guitar, so please do talk amongst yourselves. I've got this app. Perhaps Fender would like to sponsor me because it's the Fender app and it's very good. Oh yeah, and another thing is my guitar, because I can't play the guitar, it is tuned, it's D, A, D, I can't remember, it's just really simple. Anything you play, it works out. I can let you know if you like. D, and then A. Another A. Sort of says well done to you once you've got it. So, first song I'm going to sing is called Privacy. I wrote this song many years ago about somebody who I was in love with, but I didn't feel that I could tell him, even though he told me. I kept it very private how my feelings were. but I did need to put the feeling somewhere, and that's really why I tend to write songs when I'm a bit overwhelmed. So yeah, this one's called Privacy. I play the guitar really softly, actually, I've been told. I need to get an electric guitar, that'll be my next thing, that'd be kind of cool. I never meant to turn away, nor even less betray, but the force of the magnet, it drew me right to it, and I strayed, and I strayed. 'Cause I'm tied to your tears, and I know, and in the privacy of my own heart, a flame burns for you, a flame burns for you. Took time to understand it, the way you made me feel, but the heart has no logic, and I crashed right into it. I was lost, I was lost. 'Cause I'm tied to your tears, and I know, and in the privacy of my own mind, well, I remember you, well, I remember you. So I'll just keep on watching, while you just keep on watching, and the force of our love will take me above, and I'll be flying, and I'll be flying. 'Cause I'm tied to your tears, and I know, in the privacy of my own heart, a flame burns for you, a flame burns for you. So that's Privacy. And dear listener, Twitcher, I married him in the end, so that worked out. So the next track is, I feel like I want to tilt the camera a bit more. The next track is called The Blame. I'm going to sound like somebody who just has a lot of complicated feelings, which is actually true, in fact. The Blame is about the fact, I don't do it quite as much as I used to, but it's like looking at the day and what you might have done wrong and where you need to feel bad. It's like just a complete reflex of mine to wonder, well, you just to look out for the bad that I may have done. So I thought I'd write a song about that. So it's called The Blame, but there is a way out of this, I must tell you. It is possible to not be like that anymore. guitar is so quiet. Well, she's collecting all the evidence to put her on a life sentence, performing detailed postmortems to make sure she's the one to blame. 'Cause she's got used to taking the blame, and it seems strange to live in any other way. And if she tried to, well, it wouldn't feel right to have nothing to keep her worrying at night. And she's looking through the photographs to find the proof there in the past that she's the one that hurt you. Because it's easier to just plead guilty than admit that life won't always hand you the cards you need. And she's reacting to the tone of your voice, and if you knew that she even had a choice, but she's just trying to say things to please. And if you knew that, well, you would never tease. 'Cause she's got used to taking the blame, and it seems strange to live in any other way. And if she tried to, well, it wouldn't feel right to have nothing, to have nothing, to have nothing to keep her worrying at night. And she thinks maybe one day she'll change and finally rearrange the words inside her head. And though it's easier to just feel guilty, maybe now it's time to think something good instead. And she's got used to taking the blame, but I don't think that it's too late to change. I can hear a bit of a hiss. So yes, it is not too late to change, is what I will say about that. Then my final song, I must say I wrote these songs quite a long time ago. And so I'm not quite sure how to describe why I wrote this third song without going completely into my life story. It's called Perfection. And I guess it's about having spiritual goals, you know, these people who always want to be a certain way and always very positive and always very sort of above everything. And I had this idea that if I managed to do that, then I would be closer to a kind of higher power thing. So this was me basically whinging about the spiritual path I was on, which I then got off. So, Perfection. I'm sorry if I don't always manage. I'm sorry if I fail at this sweet, sweet marriage. And if I don't get my lines right, does that mean I have to cry tonight? Well, I'm only looking for perfection. I'm only trying to be like you. I'm only looking for perfection, and there's no one higher than you. You're only as good as your last fight, and I'm willing to play the game tonight. And I'll win it, and I'll win again as I always do. You know I'd do anything for you. Well, I'm only looking for perfection. I'm only trying to be like you. Well, I'm only looking for perfection. And there's no one higher than you. And when you open up your eyes, that's when you finally realize that this old world is not for you, and you've got much better things to do. Well, I'm only looking for perfection. I'm only trying to be like you. Well, I'm only looking for perfection, and there's no one. And there's no one, and there's no one higher than you. I'm glad I don't feel like that anymore, actually. Okay, so that's most of the Millicious show over with. This was my lucky charm thing, which my friend Stuart gave me, and I think he is probably watching. So I am now going to, with the magic of OBS broadcasting software, who will also be paying me lots of money. No, they're not. I'm going to be putting a question and answer scene on here, and I'll be back in a few minutes, and you will hear from Sally, who has helped organise all of this. So thank you very much. See you soon. Well, literally in a few seconds. On.
Hi everyone. Hi. Yeah, I think you can hear me. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me. It's Sally Rose here on behalf of Netvio. I'll be asking Millicious the questions so she can answer all your lovely questions and some others we have around. Just so you know, the chat lags. Well, it has a little bit of lag, so when we talk and wait for an answer, it will take a little bit. So it's not that we are stopped or anything like that. So yeah, just a reminder: this will be up tomorrow on our YouTube channel, and if any of you did any drawings or paintings, we would love to see it. If you tag Netvio on Instagram on your stories, we will really love to see them. I hope you can hear me still. My connection might not be the best one, but I'm hoping you can hear me yet. And yeah, now we will start the question and answer.
Okay.
So if you have any questions, just leave it on the chat, and I will ask to Millicious. I think she's back.
Yeah, I'm going to take...
Okay.
I've got to take the scene off, haven't I? There we are. Hello. Can you hear me, Sally? Yeah.
I can hear you perfectly, and I think people can hear us too.
Okay.
As I said, there is a bit of lag since we talk and we see the image. So yeah, I'm waiting to someone say something. I don't know if I'm on. It went offline.
Ah,
No, but you're on. I can see you.
okay.
Yeah, I can see you now. So yeah, let's start with the first question we had here on the chat. First of all, it was awesome. Everyone loved it. I'm gonna tell her because she didn't read any comments. So everyone loved it so much, and we were even picturing what you were painting. Like we saw an eye, we saw
Oh, yes.
waterfalls, we saw the sun, we saw many things.
I might take it down so it can be a bit more... Oh, it's... I don't know why I want to show you. Maybe I probably don't need to show you, do I?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I'm just gonna put this on here. I don't know why. It feels like a companion to what's happened.
Okay. So the first question we had, so I'm gonna read as they posted. So you had said it was all improv, but you painted to a track. When was the audio from? And I'm guessing the painting was unplanned, impromptu then?
Yeah. Yes. I just... Well, obviously I just have some materials and I just started painting. And this eye kind of came, an eye appeared, and then I was thinking, you know, Sally, I've been crying a bit today, so now I was thinking, oh, this must perhaps be to do with crying. And then a lot of my songs, one is called Tears, one is called Cry. There's a lot of crying going on. So once I realised it was kind of about this, then I went in that direction. So yeah, it was more a thought, or yeah, it's quite hard to describe.
Okay. Also, another question was: is there a particular reason you've come to paint with the materials you do? Past mishaps. Sorry for my English, guys. I'm not English, so
Yeah,
I might make
Sally's
a mistake.
Spanish,
So,
but
sorry.
you speak very good
So-
English.
Mishaps, disasters, nightmares bring you where you are now.
Can you say that last bit? Mishaps.
Yeah, mishaps. Well, I read it again. Is there any particular reason you've come to paint with the materials you do? Past mishaps, disasters, nightmares bring you where you are now?
I wonder if the person's talking about whether I've used art materials which I feel comfortable with, or whether they're talking about my experience, my life experiences, mishaps, nightmares. I'm not quite sure. Well, maybe I'll talk about both. So
Maybe both.
yes, so the materials, I just use acrylic paint because it's just really easy to just slap on. I mean, my favourite thing really is just to use a huge brush in my hands and just, go a bit mad. But I thought I wouldn't quite do that. And I've got this new dress on.
We knew about it. We knew about that you were told not to paint on it.
So I've got these inks, which I love. I did go to art college, actually. Not that I ended up being an artist, but these inks are really lovely to work with. I think I use things which feel nice. And because I'm not trying to make anything in particular, then it sort of almost doesn't matter what I use. I don't like oil paints because they just take ages to dry. And also you kind of need to... Well, I feel you need to know what you're doing with oil. So acrylic is great like that. And then the nightmares and mishaps. I think the person was talking about art materials, but I'm not sure. But in terms of life
Um,
experience, definitely I've had all of those, and they definitely inform my my creative flow.
yeah, he's asking if it was it's a canvas you painted
Oh
on.
yeah, this is a canvas, and actually perhaps the person could remember this is an old canvas which has lots of things I don't like underneath, and I just put some brown paper on top. So
Okay.
yeah,
Oh,
maybe it was
great.
that. And actually I was going to do it on a big piece of paper which I bought online which didn't arrive, so I just used, I buy
Oh,
these quite cheaply. I quite enjoy just messing around on
well,
them.
then I guess we'll have to do another one when that arrives. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So someone also asked where you get your inspiration from.
With the music?
Yeah, I guess in general with art because you're
Yeah.
art based, so you do art and you do like all like painting and music. So I guess, or maybe I'm wrong, but I probably you get all the inspiration for all your art
Yeah,
because
it's
you
funny
are artist.
because I went to art college and I noticed I wasn't one of those people that could really, I don't know, I just didn't seem to have that drive to really express myself through art. So I actually then discovered art therapy, where you're helping other people to make art, people who have mental health problems or brain injuries or anything like that. So just engaging with the art material does something to our physiology
Mm-hmm.
and to our psychology. So in a way, I'm inspired to suddenly do a painting or drawing when I feel very stuck, like emotionally, or when I'm trying to tune in to myself and I can't quite get there. Then I just
Yeah.
do a lot of doodling and stuff. And if I feel very big, then I might do a canvas. But I don't. These kind of creative moments, I would never like put them on my wall. They're more like, you just have to go a bit crazy. And it's the same
Yeah.
with music. Sometimes, I use Logic software, and sometimes I'll just find the most ridiculous noises and just, like if I'm really angry or something, I'll just find
Yeah.
and and then afterwards I'm like, yeah, I probably will never use that, but I've expressed myself. So it's probably because I don't quite know how to, contain my emotions. That's probably my inspiration.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think many of us watching um, also have all those emotions. And one of the songs, talking about those emotions, one of the songs you said about blaming yourself and all that. And well, you said you can get out of it. And I said, well, maybe we could talk about how to get out of that blame later on. And people said yes. So,
Oh, I love that. Well,
so
shall I say something about it now?
oh yeah, I would love to hear that.
It's funny because I'm sure I've got the answer and I seem to have quickly forgotten it, but there's something about not feeling like you are absolutely the center of everything. Like events happen despite you, so
Yeah,
say you missed the train. I
yeah,
don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's not, you can't keep bringing it back to you. It's funny because I realised this the other day and I seem to have forgotten again really quickly but it's
yeah. I
something
think
about that. Like
we're good. Yeah,
you have to realise other influences are involved in life and in your life. And actually I think the main thing is it's so bad for you to feel bad about yourself. Like it's an impossible road to travel. Like it will never ever help you. It's good to have a conscience, but really you should not carry things very much, definitely not in a way, not into the next day, and if you have done something
yeah,
that terrible, then you probably need some kind of therapy or something, if you really can't, if you can't come out of it. But for me it's a massive practice because I am really inclined to do that. Like I don't want this to be true, but I imagine once this is all over, I'll do the
yeah,
kind of forensics. I'll be like, did I do that? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. And, you know, but I must admit,
Yeah.
recently I managed to just not, I said to myself, we're not doing that. We're just focusing on the
That's
good.
clever.
And it worked. Like,
That's clever.
it didn't come back suddenly, you know, when I was relaxing like a monster. Ha ha. It didn't.
Yeah.
I was really strict. So, yeah.
Yes, feeling like a monster might help. Someone is saying that someone is asking, but what if I do for like a long time, like blaming yourself, like oneself? I mean, I guess.
If that is what you do all the time,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like what can you do to not like? Well, maybe I mean, if you have the answer, maybe you don't. But,
That's true.
it help.
I mean, I think, yeah, it's just really interesting. Again, I'm kind of thinking on the therapy side, people will say, well, when did you first have this experience? And actually, I remember the first time I felt really bad. I was probably about 5, and I'd gone to a fair, like with games and everything. And I had got a balloon, this beautiful balloon, which was in the shape of a rabbit. I know you like rabbits, Sally. This yellow balloon. And it was so wonderful. And I carried it to my house, and then I let it go by mistake.
Oh.
I'm getting a sensation of the memory of it, and it just went up into the sky, and I just remember thinking, oh my God, you know, like, I couldn't believe that that I had done that I had made myself unhappy or something.
Yeah.
So I sometimes wonder if there are just old things we haven't recovered from, that means we carry on kind of feeling a thing.
Yeah.
But I just think you have to be strict with yourself, actually, and know that you are allowed to feel that you're a good person, like. And to be honest, that is the main purpose of therapy. And I've worked in prisons with people who've done terrible crimes, and we still look for the person who needs to be healed within that. So actually, yeah, you don't need to.
That's amazing. And you've done art therapy in prison, like with
yeah. Well, yeah,
people there?
I have. It was actually a psychiatric hospital for people who've done violent acts. So it's run more in a hospital way, but it's people are incarcerated. Yeah, that was so interesting. I don't know. All human beings have a broken bit, even if it's really deep, and they have all these reflexes, all these habits they do to sort of tolerate their feelings. But I mean, and that's part of my spiritual thing, really, believing that everyone deep down is valuable.
Yeah, that's a very, very nice way of living and thinking. That way you spread love. I'm going to read you a couple of comments regarding this, because I don't think you can read them. And Mr. Sinister77 said, we all engage with art in our own way. You help others with art. That's just awesome and amazing.
That's
and
nice.
Hash by Bright Wing said containing emotions is impossible and don't mess with one. Music said, I agree with both these statements. Chuck asked about I don't know if that was a good answer, Chuck, about what if you do for a long time. Also, Hash by Bright, sorry for the pronouncing. I remember you saying no matter what happens, everything is always okay. So you say that.
I think that's my friend Lucy, actually, Hushaby Bright. I'm not sure. We've known each other a long time. I think that's her.
Well, that's a nice thing to say also. And Luna Eclipse 077 says, you're allowed to feel that you're a good person. That's great. That's something that you said now, and I think that's very powerful to say. checks of mine was unrelated. If you want Chuck, if you want some like to do like more question or something, maybe I'm confusing, or we'll keep going with another question, and you can ask anything else, and I will read it for sure. So next question is more about any particular instruments, a special fancy processing of some kind of creating the sonic structure for you. I may not notice surface level. I'm curious how you crafted the sounds, like what we heard when you were painting.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like how you crafted the sounds, like the sonic structure and that.
Well, first of all, thank you for calling it crafted, because I actually make my music in exactly the same way as I do this, which is why it's all little bits, you know. Unless I'm going to write a full song on the guitar, I'm not very patient. I just like to get things out. I use Logic software. I probably start with like a bass thing, which actually it's almost like I write it according to the feelings I have. So I'll put several. So a bass. I do not know how to write my own beats. So I actually use, for the beats, I use loops, which I realise is cheating, but
No,
I don't have the rhythm to go,
not.
you know.
It's
So,
not cheating.
so it's really on the feeling, and that's why I've sometimes felt I don't quite know where I belong in the music world, but actually somebody let me know about a woman called, I think it's Julianne Harding, and something like that. She released an album on Spotify of like lots of songs that are at about 50 seconds long.
Oh,
So that
right.
inspired me.
I like that. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I like that.
So I do not want to know what I'm doing. I did go on I went something like an 8-week course for very basic Logic, you know, how to very basically use everything. So I have, I don't know if this is what the person's asking, but anyway, I have one of these little things here, which I then hook up to Logic, and any instruments I want to play, I just play through that. And then I sing, and because I don't know much about production, I tend to put reverb on everything, which I think I'm going to stop doing now. Because it's a bit old, isn't it? I mean, if you do it all the time. And really...
I love reverb, so I would say go with it. Like keep with the reverb. I like reverb.
I don't know why, it makes your voice seem more like an instrument somehow, and somehow it kind of blends with everything. But yeah, I don't have any structure, and I'm really doing it for myself, which is why it was a bit weird to present this, because I don't know how it sounds really in the world.
Sounds great. Actually, it sounds great. Actually, one of the questions was for your music, which is quite good, you use software like Ableton Live or Machines. So yeah, you use Logic.
Yeah, I use Logic. Yeah. It's very easy. It's really an easy program as far as I understand.
Yeah, well, Ableton Live is great for live too, but
yeah,
I guess with Logic you can do too. So Hash by Sis, the one you said, and she's also saying that you also said wearing a hat in winter is a really good idea, so you're a wise woman. And and here more people like River, and your voice is totally an instrument, sounds wonderful, and that everyone uses loops and everyone uses a little reverb on voices.
I've always wondered if everyone uses loops.
Oh. Yeah, I do use reverb a lot too, like sounds much better. It's like, yeah, it does.
It does really. And I think maybe if you have your music produced by someone else, then, because that's the other thing, I often work with other people and they do all the proper stuff, you know, so yeah. I know the potential of production and everything, but I just know very little really.
Yeah, no, I get my mixing and mastering done too, and that was Now you mentioned that was kind of another question, right? You make music with different people. How's the process of that? I mean, you do all the songs and they mix master or they produce. How do you work with
Well,
these other producers?
yeah, so actually, two of the songs I sang, Privacy and The Blame, they've been worked on by DJs and sort of turned into dance tunes.
Mm-hmm.
So that just happened by luck. I think I had done a song with someone else and it was on SoundCloud, and he heard my voice. He just got in touch and said, would you like to do a track together? So I thought, well, I've got these songs. I've got a song. And then he produced that. And then he sent it out actually, and a DJ picked it up and they did a remix of it. So, you know, it's all luck. And then I've also, and the third song I sang, that's been worked on by, I'm in a band as well with another guy. He does all the production. It's kind of like a synth pop thing. So the process usually is I just give people the song and they interpret it. The producer will interpret it in their own way, which is why, and that's great because often they've got the stamina to release it, you know, get it out in the world. But there's always that side of me that thinks, oh, but I would like this, because I seem to know exactly what I want something to sound like, and of course, you have to do it yourself. Yeah. So it's like but producers always want singers, you know. They do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm gonna read you a couple of comments, and if there is another more question, please let me know. I have a last one, and if there is another question, we will wrap it up after this last one. But I'm gonna read you. Don't mess with one says it sounds amazing. You should not doubt about that. Mr. Sinister.
Oh, that's nice.
77 says. Logic is great program for creating music. Neither loops or reverb are cheating. It's how you use the tools and loops you make cool music. Yeah. And Chuck says that Logic is hard AF, which I think it's hard.
Okay.
AF.
Maybe it's because it's the first one I learned, so I tend to assume that if I find something easy, it must be easy. I mean, it's not easy, but it's just, you know, the sound actually comes out when you plug something in.
Okay, so this is our last question. If anyone has another one, just write it down. You seem very much more confident now. Do you think you were forged in the fires of life? Oh,
that's so lovely. I wonder who said that.
I
think this must be probably somebody who knows me.
I'm gonna check who did this.
But yes.
I'm gonna let you know.
Well, I think what has finally brought my confidence is I am so sick of...
Well, it's Hasha by Bride Wing.
Oh yeah, I think that is Lucy again. I think the fact that I'm just really... I don't want to hear myself always saying, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that. I wish I had the confidence. You know, I look at people on Instagram and I think, oh, I want to do that. So when you asked me if I wanted to do it, I really wanted to say no, actually. But a few people persuaded me to give it a go, and I knew I would really regret it if I didn't. So
I'm so glad you said yes. Like I remember when Apple's Castle said you said yes, and I was stoked, actually. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like a first for me. So hopefully.
I hope first of many more to come, and also live when you can go when we can do like in person gigs. Yeah. So
that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah. She asked also if your songs sound the way you wanted them to, like if your songs sound the way you want them to sound.
I wonder if she's saying the ones that I played earlier or the ones which have gone out by other producers.
I don't know, maybe in general.
Yeah, it's funny actually. no, whenever I hear songs made by other people, I am really critical because I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. So that's why I think, I mean, really, if I had the energy, I would learn to produce, but I just don't think I have. It's very technical. So the other thing is just to have a producer and tell him, her, what to do. That's really what I need to do. Or, be in the studio with somebody who understands everything, and just because it's like I can hear it in my mind.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a really lovely thing to have one day. Something exactly as I imagine it in my mind.
Yeah, that's nice.
It's
That's
funny,
so
Sally. I'm looking at the laptop as if you're there. I know you're not there, but if I look here, I feel like I'm not listening. It's very silly.
Okay, so yeah, people want to see another life, and people are leaving you like very, very lovely comments, like this was delightful, so fantastic, brilliant efforts. Oh yeah, she meant if they come out how you intended them to come, like the songs.
The ones in the mix that I did, I wonder.
I think so.
It's funny because I guess the ones on the mix that I did, yeah, I mean, because I don't have the skills, perhaps they're not either exactly as I intend them, but they're good enough in the way that creativity is what it is. So I'm content with that.
Well, in this end, they sounded so awesome, like really so awesome. Like they were really, really good. I even tried to paint a little bit, but I couldn't just keep up with everything.
Yeah, there's a lot of bits in there. It changes really quickly. I realise, ideally it could be very ambient and long, and perhaps.
I was trying to keep up with the chat and with watching you, but I think some people did paint something. So really, if you did, we will love to see them.
Yeah, maybe they can set.
You can tag Millicious and Netvio.
Yeah, that would be brilliant.
If you don't follow her, go follow her on Instagram, and if you don't follow Netvio, go follow Netvio on Instagram too.
Yeah, I would love that actually.
Lives every month. So we're gonna wrap it up. So you want to say some last words to everyone who's watching?
Well, thank you very much.
Shut up.
Well, thank you very much for going along with this, because it felt like a bit of an unusual thing to do. I did Google, some other people are doing art and music at the same time, so I didn't feel all alone. And yeah, like Sally said, if you can follow me on Instagram, Millicious _ whatever that line is, _ at the end. And at the moment, that's where I'm posting most of what I'm doing. And my proper name is Millie Gaum, and I think that's somewhere on Instagram as well. So if you want to listen to old songs I've done that have been released, then if you just look up my name. Usually I'm featuring on other artists' names, so you probably won't find me actually. But on my Instagram page, there's links to my songs that are out there. So yeah. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for watching. I did leave the link to your Instagram, and I'm gonna leave also the Netvio Instagram so everyone can follow. And yeah, thank you very much everyone watching. Thank you very much, Millie, for doing this. It was really awesome. One on a lifetime experience, not something we see very often, and it was real nice. Yeah, and we will see each other here again in August for our next Netvio Live Session, and we will be following you and seeing what you're coming up with, because we love you, Millie.
Oh, Sally, thank you.
You're on Spotify.
Oh, so someone's just told me I am on Spotify under my name.
So everyone.
Oh, Apes to Angels. Yes, I'm also in a band called From Apes to Angels, which is on Spotify.
From apes to angels.
Yes. And
So
sorry, I'm just remembering. And also I've been doing some music with a group called Dam de Wheat, DAMDE8. We've released about 3 tracks in the last few months, all in lockdown. So I did not have a relaxing lockdown at all.
I can see that you have the link to that on your
On my
on your
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
So yeah, follow Millie on Instagram and follow all the music on Spotify and give much love to her.
Okay.
So